to imagine it's pretty tough to start out as an emerging manager on your own. Is this an area that Arootah assists with?
Assist? We do a lot more than assist, but yeah, that's one way to put it. You know, I'll tell you a story. When John Griffin and I first started out, Blue Ridge Capital, we raised a fund. We were co-founders. We raised a fund. We started out, went from 50 million to 10 billion at our height. When we first started out, I'll never forget this. We were walking across the street, and he said, Rich, I'm going to hire 3 analysts. Just the two of us. I'm going to hire 3 analysts. They're going to bring me in like a dessert cart, right? Of desserts. The analogy was these are investments, of course. He's like, pick this one, like this one, don't like this one, like short that one, right? Then pick all these out. He's like, that's what I want to do. I love investing. Can you do everything else? I said, yeah, John, I can do everything else. And by the way, you have the hard job. I'm in control of what I'm doing. It's hard investing. I know how hard it is, but I can do everything else. So for emerging managers, for instance, we certainly can help them set up their infrastructure in a lot of different ways. We've got a deep bench of literally hundreds of expert advisors in any functional area. We've got COOs, CFOs, CCOs, CISOs, we've got business development people, we have analysts. These are fractional consultants or employees that can be hired. It's extremely valuable. If you don't realize it's extremely valuable to hire fractional employees or consultants. They come in and set you up in any area of your business. They can do a best practice review. They can completely get you set up. They can write out procedures, and they can even do the jobs themselves. And by the way, you might end up hiring one of these folks. Kind of a long-term interview. Yeah, they can come in 3-4 hours a week or 40 hours if you need them. So that takes care of one of the things that they don't want to do. And by the way, usually the managers are not great at setting up operational infrastructure, nor should they, nor is it a good use of their time. So remember, there were 2 things we talked about that managers need to do. One was setting up their operational infrastructure. The other one is fundraising. Right, so that's where on the fundraising front, we're not yet a third-party marketer, but there's plenty that we can do to help. So we've written a book on fundraising for emerging managers. It's a book that has 10 fundraising principles. And it's also the book that goes along with our 10-week masterclass by the same name. So we covered 10 principles of how to run a successful fundraising campaign. We covered things like the basics, of course, like pitch decks and other marketing materials. We discussed the technology like CRMs. We discussed the sales pitch itself, which a lot of managers don't have much experience in. But it's a necessity. You get into this meeting, this is your chance, right? You get in front of an allocator, it's like, this is it. Kind of like on an interview, you're going for an interview, same type of thing. You got to sell people on this. And you got to really believe in your fund. Hopefully you've got a great track record. And there are also legal and regulatory issues that a lot of managers are not aware of, but they must be aware of them, so they have to be careful with that. So the class is taught by experts, different people teach in the class, and it's also in a workshop format. I don't like just doing lecture. We do lecture and then workshop formats. You get a real experience doing it. You can kind of do practice. And these aren't just for managers. These are also for business development folks on the teams. So now, importantly, in addition to the book and the masterclass, we also developed this blueprint technology. SaaS technology is really the blueprint for a successful fundraising campaign. We put a lot of effort into this, a lot of resources into this blueprint. You have this blueprint, you can get it done. It's a plan on how to raise capital. It goes through each step. Who do you delegate it to? It has a bunch of KPIs. It's a really amazing plan. And it goes perfectly with the book and the masterclass. So I encourage anybody that's looking to start a fund, it's in the formation stages of starting a fund, to check out all of these 3. It's a really great package having all 3 of them together.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Wow, really, you're setting them up for success.
That's exactly what we're doing. Setting them up for success. So you get all 3, and boom, then you got to execute on it.